The afternoon, an earthquake in Afghanistan has killed more than 800 people, but there are fears entire villages have been flattened. The Taliban-run government says 2,500 people have been injured. The magnitude 6 quake in the east of the country struck just before midnight our time. It was felt by more than 1.2 million people, shaking buildings from the capital Kabul to neighbouring Pakistan's capital, Islamabad. But the real problem is the isolated villages where the majority of people live in low-rise mud brick homes that are vulnerable to collapse. And reaching those villages, many cut off because of road blockages, is extremely difficult. Our correspondent Rachel Young has the latest.
In one of the most remote corners of Afghanistan, they are pulling the living and the dead out of what's left of their homes. Built from stone, wood and straw, these buildings were no match for an earthquake that hit just after midnight, splitting families as they slept. My dad, cries this little boy. But this is footage from Afghan television, and his father's fate is not yet clear. What is obvious is how little help there is. Only helicopters can reach them, and there aren't enough stretchers to cope.
Almost the entire village has collapsed. There are children trapped under the rubble. The elderly are under the rubble. Young people are under the rubble. We need help here.
But there are far more injured than there are helicopters, and already many of the region's hospitals are overwhelmed. The Taliban-run government says it put a search and rescue operation into place shortly after the quake hit. But this is one of the poorest countries in the world, and some of the worst hit areas are still to be reached.
Right now, because of the earthquake, there have been several landslides that have happened, and that have blocked even the existing roadways and pathways. So search and rescue efforts are going to be extraordinarily difficult.
There is aid being sent in, but this is a country where more than half the population was already in need of humanitarian assistance. That makes the task of helping the injured and the homeless even tougher, as they race to get what little help they have to the thousands who need it. Rachel Younger, ITV News.